Welcome everybody now. Welcome Libor Podmol. Libor, thanks a lot for joining along in how are you doing?
I'm all good, man. I'm healthy. My kids are healthy, so living life. It's
Man,
all good.
it's so nice to talk to you again after so long and where are you exactly right now?
I live near Prague, so I have like a half hour to Prague, Czech Republic, in the middle of Europe.
Well, that's amazing. Prague is so good for sure, one of the most beautiful cities that I've ever been and I have to go back there, man.
Hey, welcome.
Libor, I met you back in 2007 in the first night of the jumps in Fortaleza, Brazil. Well, what a memories do you have from that event?
um,
It was a very
just
long
it
time
was very
ago,
hot.
man.
Yeah, long time ago. In 2007, I was probably like the newcomers
Mm-hmm.
also in the night of the jump, so everything was new. The traveling with the world was new, and yes, but the year I remember in Brazil was 2010 when I become the world champion a
I
couple
want to
years
talk
later.
about that. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, that one I remember.
But
So
I think you're finishing second in 2007. I think Villa won. You are the second. In Brace Iso was the third. I'm not sure about that, but I think that was the final result.
all right, cool. Yeah, it's been a couple of years back, right?
Yeah, for sure. More than 10 years, 15 years actually. I remember the event was pretty hectic. Everything was finished in the last minute by the promoter, but I do have good memories from that night. But Libor, I wanna back the clock a little bit in time, and well, how did you get involved with dirt bikes?
Well, I was born into motorcycle family. My father was enduro racer, and that was his main job. So when I was 10, I got my first bike under the Christmas tree, and when I was 12, I made deal with my father. That he came to my room and asked me like, Libor, listen, it's kind of expensive sport, is dangerous sport, but I'm gonna support you 100%. But you have to promise me that you're gonna do it as good as you can. So I was like, yeah,
That's a good
sure.
advice. Wow,
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, well, so that I did kind of promise that I'm gonna do motorcycles with
Mm-hmm.
100% of my will, and then 2 years later, when I was 14, my father passed away,
Wow, such a
and
shame.
so
I'm sorry for your
yeah, so
loss.
since well, it's been some time, but then I have to do it by myself, only with a mom. My brother was just like 2 years old, so let's say it was some rough times, but I could keep going on the motocross. I
Mm-hmm.
could stay on the bikes. It also give me, when you go on a bike, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
don't think about you have no worries. So it
Yeah, for
was
sure.
always kind of
Yeah, yeah. You totally
go
forget
out
the
of
daily
my.
life.
Yeah, so it was also, I think, helping me with my psychical health, I
Mm-hmm.
would say. And then so I was racing motocross, and then when I was 19, I jumped the ramp for the first time, and I figured it out. I kind of always love it,
Mm-hmm.
the jumps, and always also on the motocrosses or
Mm-hmm.
supercrosses. I was the one who did some no handers and cans for little groupies. They were like 13, I
Yeah,
was
that
like
was
15.
good. That was good.
So yes, so freestyle was always there, and I was always watching the video cassettes,
Mm-hmm.
VHS with on videos, and just dreaming about the big jumps and some tricks. And
I
then
see.
when in around 2000, but when it become proper sport, and I see the possibility of myself to be good in it, I say yes. I stopped completely motocross, which I
Mm,
was not so bad. It was doing like podiums in Czech championships in motocross, supercross. So but my soul wants to be
I see.
freestyle, which actually the supporters of my motocross career was not too happy about it. So they
I
say,
can
Libor,
imagine.
yeah, you're gonna stop doing these like crazy things, and you're gonna destroy your ramp on a garden, because I already built my ramp there. And I was like, or what? He's like, or we're not gonna support you. So it's like,
Eh,
then I have one big supercross race, and then I said, if I'm gonna win it, it's gonna mean I will stay with normal supercross and just maybe do a freestyle on the side. I didn't win, so I gave all the like sponsor bikes back to the sponsors. I said I'm quitting, and I just focus proper on I just focus fully on freestyle. I asked my mom; she took a loan and she bought me first 250 Kawasaki
awesome, man.
with some sale by Peter Kuchar, which is like a Czech freestyle legend, and he starts to give me first advices and first steps.
And by the way, how was the scene back in the day in Czech Republic? I mean, the FMX scene. There were you, Martin Korer, as you say, Kukar. Kukar is older than you, actually, right?
Yeah, well, Peter Kuchar was the one who brought the freestyle, let's say, to Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
I think in 1998 they go to US with Marek Raymond, and they
Mm-hmm.
did I don't know, some kind of a tour of a
FMA, I think.
competitions there.
FMA, I think.
Yeah, yeah, right. And then actually Marek brought the one of the first freestyle motocross shows.
Mm-hmm.
It back in the days it calls Nokia Freestyle, but now it's
Gladiator
known as the
games.
Gladiator Games.
That's awesome,
Yes.
man.
So in '99 was the first Gladiator Games in Brno, and then
Mm-hmm.
I saw it first time together with Martin Korin and Alex Riemann. We later on build up. We decide we want to be freestylers, and we
Mm-hmm.
build our own team called General X,
I
and
remember that.
we build our park, and then we keep on going. So the Peter Kuchar is like a first generation. Me, Koren, and Liman is like a and some other dudes from Moravia. They are like second generation, and then is like my brother and Matej Chesak and they are newcomers, and also Petr Pilat.
Yeah, yeah.
He's younger than me, but he was jumping already before me because he started like when he was I don't know 14 or 12, or he was flipping when he was 15. So
Yeah, I remember that. In Libor, well, how did the opportunity for your first contest came about? Was that night of the jumps? I mean, official contest.
I think so. There was they maybe they could be some smaller ones which
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember, but definitely Night of the Jumps was a game changer. That's what we practiced for together with the Korean. We were like and we were pushing hard, and we saw this could be our future because
Mm-hmm.
we did you know when I met the freestyle, I was like, okay, then uh, actually I like 2 months later when I bought a new Kawasaki, or my mom bought me Kawasaki, and I came to Peter Kuchar's
Mm-hmm.
place. I was there almost every day, and then I was trying my first heart attack, and I was like, yeah, it's like a Superman C grab. I just jump higher with my
Mm-hmm.
legs. So I jumped higher, but I didn't grab the grab, and I broke my femur openly.
Wow,
So there was another break for 5 months. I was like, oh, and everyone was like,
that
oh,
was a
we
tough
told you,
start, man. Wow.
yeah. And then it was like everyone was like, we told you freestyle is not good, it's not for you, it's for crazy people. And uh so after that I got healthy, then I started to be a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And then I go to like a first shows, start to make a little smaller money.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start to do freestyle shows in Europe, slowly in Germany and Poland, like this, getting to international scene, also in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw that the Night of the Jumps is doing actually qualification, and you can qualify for the event. And
Which year was that? Do you remember?
that was like 2004, I
Wow,
think,
a
or
long
like
time
this, or
ago.
2003.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 20 years back,
Wow.
or five, something like that. So, and then it was great because like there was eight, I think, fixed guys, or
Mm-hmm.
10 fixed guys, and three or two guys can jump into the main event in the evening from
Mm-hmm.
the qualification, which always happened the day before. And I was all the season pretty much the one who was winning always the qualification. So I think I made probably to most of the like main events the next day, which gave me like a contract for next season. And then I was riding Night of the
Great,
Jumps for next, I don't know,
great.
15 years or like that.
Yeah. And well, fast forward some years, you climbed Night of the Jumps ranks. In 2010, as you say, you became a world champion in Brazil. So, what are memories do you have from that season? Well, could you reflect on that? What were the key points to get the title?
Oh, it's I can remember this year pretty well because
Mm-hmm.
we luckily it was my first time I went to America for
Mm-hmm.
training. So I took my filmers with Martin Privratsky and Dan Wojciech. We thought we're gonna do like a little documentary about our trip.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, they stayed with me all season with the Night of the Jumps, and we made a documentary movie about
Which
this season, which
documentary is
calls
that?
Tomorrow Will Be Better.
I got this
Uh,
DVD.
see, so we still in Netflix in our country and maybe in some
Mm,
other countries. I'm not sure where it's still
cool.
popping
Good
up,
to know.
but this one I definitely remember, uh, and it was season acting. You know, first time in the US, meeting. Also, I team up with Lucas Myrtle. You know,
Mm-hmm.
manager who later become manager of
Lawrence Brothers.
Alberg
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Reynaldo, and now he is in motocross and he's with Lawrence Brothers, and he's he's it's crazy how he
Mm.
actually dreamed about this job 20 years ago, and
He started
it
as a
happened.
mechanic, I
It's
think, right,
happening
or
now.
something like that.
Yes, he was a mechanic of Jim McNeil and helping him with all the stuff. Then when I was working with Lucas and living in US, then actually,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Jim
Yeah.
passed away, so it was horrible news. And but that's freestyle, you know. Sometimes this shit happens, and yeah. So then I stay with Lucas pretty much until uh, end of my freestyle career, which I thought it will be in 2019, but maybe it looks like I'm still going somehow.
Mm-hmm. Well, Libor, as you said, you after your title, you became the first no American rider to get a gold medal on X Games Moto X. So how do you kind of explain that? But well, could you give more details about how did you secure your spot on X Games, and how was the connection between Europe and America?
Yeah, it was. You know, even if I became a world champion in 2010, I didn't get invited for these games.
Mm-hmm.
The same in 2012. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2012, I decided I'm gonna move to US. So I spent there like two winters.
Mm-hmm.
I think I ran the a house of or ranch of Mike Metzger with his truck, and I was
Mm-hmm.
living in Temecula and
Mm-hmm.
just getting to know everyone. And of course, it's gives your name a bit. You know, the judges and the people who are choosing the riders, they know you probably a bit better. So I think it
Mm-hmm.
was a good step. And
For sure.
then in two, yeah, and then in 2013, for the first time ever, X Games decided they're gonna do more than one stop only,
Mm-hmm.
and I got the wild card for Brazil,
Yeah, I
right?
remember that
Fortaleza.
in Foz do Iguaçu. I was one of the
Yes,
judges there.
yes,
Yeah, cool.
no, yes, yes. So this one was my first X Games, and I went there for freestyle mainly, and I think I got maybe fourth or fifth in freestyle, but then I got a wild card for the step up because they have not enough riders probably. So I jump on my freestyle bike and I actually get the a bronze medal with my freestyle bike, and I was like, "Woo!" And
Oui.
actually, this medal secured me the spot for the all the other X Games. Truly.
So I see. And Libor, well, as you said, you got a gold medal in 2013, and you also got a gold medal on step up in 2016, tied with Jared McNeil. So man, how did you become so good on step up?
I don't know. I think it's the step up is just natural discipline about some. It's about a head game
Mm-hmm.
and it's about some experience from riding dirt bikes, but and you just have to send it truly.
What do you
So
mean by head
I,
game? You mean like
oh, you know,
hold the pressure
you
and
have
so on?
of course, but it's it's about the choosing the right rut.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like everybody is hitting the same ramp. So you're
Mm-hmm.
actually shaping your rut with the shovel, and you
Mm-hmm.
have 1 hour. Like all the riders used to have 1 hour to shovel the ruts. The takeoff. So you can play the games with this. Maybe you shape one rut here,
Oh, I
then you
got it.
shape
That's
one
interesting.
special rut here, because when a lot of people is using this rut, then it's becoming too mellow. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to have some like secret drag on the side, and you can play, or you can destroy the takeoff of your opponent,
I see.
a bit if you. So it was very special discipline, and also sometimes I think very scary. Well, you have no speed, and then you 12 meters high, and you just
Yeah, yeah.
like waiting for the fall, and also see some guys crashing quite hard. So, but I think it was the great discipline for the public, and that's
Yeah.
why also the step up was, I think, couple of years was the most watchable sport of
Mm-hmm.
the X Games, because very easy for people to understand. It's just who's gonna jump over the bar is a winner. It's not about
Yeah, it's
some
very simple
judges
to
giving
understand.
report.
Yeah, yeah. There is no judging. It's quite self-explanatory. By the way, Libor, well, how do you see Moto X on X Games these days? There is no freestyle, there is no step up, but there is quarter pipe. So I'd like to know your thoughts about that.
I find out the quarter pipe is very interesting,
Yeah.
but it's just for a very small amount of the riders, because
Mm-hmm.
you need to have this jump on your garden, and it's not easy to
Mm-hmm.
set it up. So I think in the world right now there's just like three guys probably who has it,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the three guys who are doing the event. So
Yeah.
is it's cool. I think it's cool. I'd like to see it to. I don't know, but I would like to put some more rules, or something
Mm-hmm.
which could, because it feels for me when I'm watching it's always the same kind of deal
Mm-hmm.
every year, because they have a ramp, they don't using this they own rut, like they don't have a dirt lip like we used to have,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely they are super high and it's super scary, and I think it's cool. That point that freestyle motocross is not in Ace Games anymore, I think it's sad.
For
Like
sure.
freestyle motocross was, I think, the spirit of X Games, and
For sure.
especially with the big
Change the
big
X
course.
Games, actually.
Yeah, and especially with the big courses,
Mm-hmm.
would give us so much new possibilities to do like other tricks, and to be unique, different than other riders. That's what we want to see. But now with the best rig only, one jump, not even from the dirt. Uh, it's it's tough. I think it's hurting the sport that we don't develop freestyle anymore, because remember the days where it was so much
Yeah.
quarter pipes and dirt lips and dirt
Big
doubles,
cars
and
like X Games, X Fighters, and so on that really was
exactly,
pushing the
and the
sport.
sport was, yeah, exactly, the sport was growing, the audience, the crowd was growing, the fans were wild, and that's what I'm missing, and that's what sport is missing. But of course, it's much cheaper to build one
For sure.
landing from the wood or airbag landing than full dirt course. So
Yeah.
it's all about money, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. Elibor, can you talk about Dakar? Well, why did you decide to race Dakar?
Um, well, I was sitting in that 2019 or 2018-19,
Mm-hmm.
after my season of Night of the Jumps in 2018, I still got bronze medal.
Mm-hmm.
I got silver from X Games, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting on tropical island. I was like, oh, so you have 10 medals from World Championship, you have 8 medals from X Games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's quite a the same people, the
Mm-hmm.
same tracks, and then when you do this for like 12 years, like, I'd like to, maybe it's time to move on somewhere, or try something new. And then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was talking about the Dakar, and that's the most well-known race, what you can do on motorcycles. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's do this. And of course, I'm happy I have done it, and I still see my kind part of the future can be there for me. because it's popular in Czech, and of course, rally is it's super fun sport, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's something completely different than
Yeah, for
freestyle,
sure.
especially in the beginning. Well, I was like when I was doing freestyle, my last years when I was like doing vaults and collie rolls and front flips, in the event, and you go to the event, you
Mm-hmm.
already like 2 days before the start, you know how much risk you're gonna put into your run.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if the ramps are a bit like this or like this. You know what tricks you want to put there on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that there is a chance that you can do this trick
It's more
like 70
predictable, let's say.
yes, yeah, 70 yes, 30 maybe no.
Mm-hmm.
So you stressing, you nervous because you know that you can get hurt, and you know the risk what
Mm-hmm.
you taking. And then, of course, when you go there in the arena, then everything goes out and you're just fully focused. But the days before you actually go to the stage, they are kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, a rally is you have no idea. You just stay there,
Yeah.
vroom, 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 and it's just gonna go somewhere as fast as you can, and you have no idea if it's gonna be like just unicorns and rainbows and super easy, or in behind the first corner there is a big truck waiting for you. So and of course gives you this, there is a speed, there is friends which are other riders which are having their adventure stories in head, and most of the like rally guys is
Mm-hmm.
like a freestyle. They have some good story behind always. I think most of the motorcycle riders which doing professionally, they are kind of, they always cool in something. It's not like, it's not a sport where parents are pushing you,
I
so
see.
that's, you have to be kind of grown up.
I see.
And so then I went to rallies, and I thought rally is going to be my future, but then I realized that the rally is expensive and it's not
Yeah,
so
for
easy
sure.
to make money with it.
I was about to ask you that. How hard was to put the Dakar project together? I'm talking about the sponsors. I'm talking about the bike. I'm talking finding the right people to help you. How hard was that?
Yeah, it's still hard because like it's also hard for me as for professional athlete, with
Mm-hmm.
the freestyle always go somewhere, race or do the event and get paid for it. In
Mm-hmm.
rally, you actually go to event, you pay for race, and even if you
Yeah.
win, you get almost nothing. And it's like and the weekend of racing rally is much more expensive than
Yeah, for sure.
racing freestyle. But it has pluses and minuses. But it was not so hard truly the
Mm-hmm.
first year, because it was before corona.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was a bit I think easier with the money when it's with the sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
And with my name and
Yeah,
kind of fame for freestyle, it was not so, it's always hard to find the money, and I'm not the best guy to ask for money.
I see.
But I'll put it together, and I built my own team, and we went there and we made it into the finish line. We have done another movie about it. I wrote my
Sweet.
third book about it, and
Sweet.
so that's what I'm doing. Like even when I was racing free, I know I did two books about freestyle, and then my third book was about actually my way from my big injury back on my legs and then back on a bike, and to start of really Dakar. And my fourth book is just about the 13 days of crazy Dakar. It's just about the Dakar. So I'm always trying to put my memories together and put it on a film or put it on a book, because
That's super good,
I
man.
want to
That's
see what I
amazing.
have done. Yeah.
In
I'm
Libor,
forgetting. So
yeah,
one is
yeah.
on the book or it's in a movie, I can always watch it.
You have such a long journey that it deserves that. In Libor, well, as you say, riding a rally bike has no connection at all with riding a freestyle bike. So, in terms of riding, what was the hardest part?
And on the Dakar,
Yeah.
uh, it's just very long.
Mm-hmm.
That's you are on a motorcycle for 10 to 12 hours every day, and then it's long. I lost 11 kilo on my first Dakar. Kilograms from I was like 60, like 9, because I was getting a bit bigger. Now I'm around 65. before Dakar, and then I was just like sweating a lot and not eating properly also because I was not so experienced at it as I am now. That now I know that you have to eat all the time on a Dakar. So this, and also of course the danger, and and also of course watching the navigation, and
Mm-hmm.
going like 120 between the rocks is not so easy. But with my motocross background and with my kind of logical intellect, I think with the
Mm-hmm.
navigation,
Great.
I done, I think, pretty okay. And I got like in the last stages of my first Dakar with the team, I was doing like 21st in
Mm-hmm.
the longest stage. So it was very good for a newcomer. And but then I came back from a Dakar, because it was good. We made it to finish, but then I look at my like bank account, and I was like, "Whoa, it was fun, but I'm 100K, like
Wow.
100K are gone." I was like,
Wow, that
"So
was
what we gonna?"
expensive, man. Really expensive.
Yeah, it's like it's you'd say, I took four friends with me and a car because I
Mm-hmm.
had a team, and you have to pay 10,000 euros for every your mechanic or
Wow.
friend you taking with. So it's 40,000 only for your friends, then 12,000 for a truck, plus then they have to fly there, and so it's just 60,000 plus if you take your friends in a car.
That's expensive. In Libor, well, you
Plus
mentioned
you.
how risky is Dakar and that this year you end up with some stitches on your face. What happened?
Yeah, it's a dangerous. So in 21st, I finished the Dakar with the team,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have done another movie about this trip from broken
Mm-hmm.
legs to this. So I've done a tour about around Czech Republic cinemas and some theaters.
Mm-hmm.
We did 17 stops. It was almost 2.5 months like long, and then I was like super tired after it, and I was like, "Fuck, the Dakar 22 is in 4 months. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired. I actually forgot to care about the sponsors, and I also still have some like troubles with my legs. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can't make it. So I put the 22 on the side, and then I was also thinking like if it makes sense to come back because I understand that uh, I'm not able to compete with the factory pilots
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and or I would or I had to make a decision to put all I have into the rally discipline. And with I have my businesses and I have family and
Mm-hmm.
I have already done it in freestyles. Like I don't think it's I don't think this is the way. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see much more. I want to finish Dakar, which I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, but when I was in Dakar, I see these crazy guys. They call it like original Malemoto discipline. When with no mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
like true heroes for me. When I always went there, visit the guys were like full of
I
emotions, and
see.
they were much more friendlier than all the other people from Dakar. I was like, this is cool, but I don't think I can make it, like because I'm not so good mechanic, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just super tough. And then I was like, okay, I think I like the
It's viable. It's
competition,
possible.
and
Yeah. Let's try
yes,
that.
and I want to see if I can make it. So I
Mm-hmm.
decide for 23, I want to try to finish the discipline, the category original by moto they call
Mm-hmm.
it now, or Malamoto back in the days. So I train hard all 22 year, jump on the start of the Rally Dakar 23rd, ready to send it. Everything was great until the first stage, kilometer 390. I hit something in speed 100 k's per hour because my airbag then told
Wow.
me I had like 26G, 26G
Hmm.
through the crash,
That's
which
tough.
knocked me down. Then I had like a sweetest dream probably of my career and longest one. Like I was walking on the beach, like feeling completely sweet. The dream which then I like something did like trying to wake me up, and I was like, no. And then I opened my eyes,
Leave
and
me
there's two guys
alone.
in a helmet. I was like, fuck, Dakar. So and I made it to finish line,
Mm-hmm.
even it was very painful on my back.
Mm-hmm.
But so I did like 30 k's till the end of the stage. There is like special stage finish. They give me some painkillers. They say, "Oh, if you have big pain, don't continue. Just call it off." I was like, "Fuck! If I'm gonna call this off, I work half year for this. I spent some good money. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go home just because I have some pain in my back." So it's like I needed to have it on a paper. So I did another 200 Ks on my bike to the bivouac, where is the X-ray. And I went directly there, and I have the two broken vertebrae.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, finish. And then the plan for 2024 was clear that I want to finish this category, but it was not easy one, as you said.
Yeah, and in 2024 you finish with like, I don't know, 10 stitches on your face, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I got like I went there and I was like, oh yeah, just not so fast. First 3 days, take it easy. You there, it's kind of gnarly to be there by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of know the people a bit, but it still was my just like second Dakar, so I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anyone so good. And especially if you there with your team, whereas I was for my first time, then you actually kind of staying with your team all the time, and you don't have so much time to go around and talk with the people. So to be there by myself, I was like, okay, just start carefully. And then, but first day I'll go, and I think kilometer like 200. I was going behind one
Mm-hmm.
guy, and I was having my like hand cover a bit lower, unfortunately, and one stone just hit me into my hand, like so painful. I thought I have a broken leg. First day, I was like, oh, a broken wrist. I was like, oh fuck, finish. And then I could move it a bit, so I was like, okay. So it was my first day. The rest of the Dakar, my hand was like this. So it was my like left hand fucked up from the first day. The third day was the day when I decided, okay, it's time to start pushing, because I was my placing was not so good, not
Mm-hmm.
as I like dream of. So I was like, okay, we'll start to go some rhythm. It's time to start. But I had some like in the stony part, like ping ping, high side and crashed, unfortunately, with my like helmet on some
Wow.
stone, and he went through my goggles and destroyed this eyebrow, or how you call it, not sure. So I have
Yeah,
nine
yeah.
stitches
Eyebrow.
here,
Yeah.
2 stitches, yeah, 2 stitches here. And it was also very stressful because I crashed and I was like, oh. And then I opened my eyes and I see just like black and red, and I was like, fuck, I broke my skull or what? So then I put the like goggles down and I could see. I was like, oh. But then I watch, and then I see from my helmet it was like blood was coming out. I was like, fuck, what's that? And then the boys who were racing with me, they already stopped there and then look at me, and they were like, fuck. I was like, what? Like, you bleeding so bad? I'm like, we calling you helicopter. I was like, no,
Wow.
no, 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 no helicopter. Because I thought when they call me helicopter is end of the race for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then I was like, fuck. Then I was like, I didn't know. So I was like struggling, and I know I have it all on a video, and I'm making a new book out of it. And I did some like a talk show around some music clubs here in Czech also
Mm-hmm.
after Dakar this year. So I have it like clearly in memory. Luckily, I'm filming everything.
That's
And
a story, man.
so
That's
in
a
my
story.
in the footage, you can see like me like walking like, fuck, I have to put my helmet on. I'm gonna squeeze this shit in, and I'm gonna, ride out of a helicopter. They will not catch me. So how they will not put me out of the race if they don't catch me? But luckily, like a couple of minutes later, the boys told me, no, 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 you're not out of the race. If the doctor said you can go, you can continue, you can. And then I was like a bit chill out, but it still like took like fucking 40 minutes to stitch me in together. Then I did another 260 Ks to the like end of a special stage, and another 170 Ks to the bivouac, and it was the marathon stage. So in the end, in the bivouac was no big medical, no X-ray, because my other hand was also fucked from the crash. And then the day after, it was not so bad. More than this, it hurt my right leg from the crash, right arm. And then so I was like, okay, okay. And they told me in the medical, if you want X-ray your hand, you need to go to the end of the next day. There is X-ray. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but it's gonna be hard for you. And the next day, fuck, I wake up, my left hand shit from the first day, the second hand was fucked from the this day. And then I woke up, and actually when I go sleep, I still could see. It was not so bad. But then I woke up, all the blood goes there, and my eye was for like 2 3 days completely like
Wow.
So I rode like for 3 days. I rode only with one eye, and it was just adventure.
Well, that's commitment. Well, Libor, let's go back to freestyle motocross. 2 weeks ago, we competed in Night of the Jumps in Bremen. So, well, how was the experience? And by the way, when was your last competition before that?
Um, I think the proper one was still in 2018, but I have done one night of the jumps also. No, true. I'm lying. I have done couple night of the jumps, but it was not like personal competition. But we have done this team, the
Yeah,
nation
yeah,
teams.
yeah.
So I did two events of this, and we actually, as a Czech Republic, we won this overall night of the jumps thing. But my individual contest was last time back in 2018. Yeah.
So, but you rode good in Bremen because you landed some gnarly tricks like backflip cliffhanger, well, underflips and so on. Are you still practicing FMX on a daily basis?
Not on a daily basis, but of course, when I knew that I'm gonna go for Night of the Jumps, I spent some time in my foam pit, to get back in the moves. But also this year, but actually last year, I started to do freestyle shows
Hmm,
again, and it's still fun for me. It's probably the thing which I can do best. I'm better freestyler than rally rider, that's for sure.
for the moment, for the
Um,
moment.
for the moment. Um, so I had some fun, and I made some cash also by doing shows, and uh, it was kind of fun. So I was like, okay, let's keep on pushing the freestyle after Dakar when I come back, and I down, and I think also people from organizations saw that I'm kind of back riding and doing some okay tricks for the shows. So I got a call, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. Well, let me know, and I'll practice some more. And of course, if I get invitation for some other events, I will bring some harder stuff. But
And
I need a goal. It's hard to. I think it's also very hard for the young boys now when they don't
mhm,
have no X fighters. The
for
night of the
sure.
champs was also kind of out, so there is no competition. What do you practice for? And for these like
Yeah.
demos, you can just do the same shit for many years, and people still love it. People still love the motorcycle upside down 10 meters high. So
Hmm.
but I think the sport would be good to have some like X fighters back or
For
proper
sure.
X
For
games.
sure. Big
I would
cars and so on. That's
motivation
yeah, that's a
motivation That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
think we're missing.
Bring back the ambition for the new riders.
Yes, exactly.
In the, in Libor, do you have plans to compete in the next round of Night of the Champions in Zurich?
Uh, yeah. I think they told me that I will go for the rest of the tour, but
Oh,
I
sweet.
didn't sign a contract yet, so we'll see.
In Libor, well, you accomplished a lot in your journey. You are a world champion. You are two times gold medal on X Games. And what else you still want to achieve in your career, in your journey?
Not too sure. I want to build some good company,
Hmm.
which gonna make some good profits, so I can support other good young people in a sport or even in art. That's what kind of mission.
Hmm.
I thought I'm not a money person, but I
Hmm.
see that with a lot of money, I can help more people. So
For
I'm
sure.
uh, so I'm trying to build like our Gaia company. It's like a food company, which is now
Tell me more
growing kind of
about that.
nicely.
What is that? What is Gaia? That's interesting.
It's a powder food. It's a powder food full of protein, minerals, and vitamins. We are doing like a chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry version. I support now, I think, around 20 athletes from different disciplines, and we're growing slowly, but growing. And that's my one of the. This is my business goal, and my riding goal could be because this Dakar, I actually went there for podium in
Hmm.
a category original by Motul, and because of the stage chase and some technical issues, I
Hmm.
took eighth place. which is still kind of okay. And mainly is to
For
finish
sure,
this
yeah.
category. That was the main goal. But there is a still little thing in my head that I would like to have the proper podium trophy from Dakar. And if I can still do something cool in freestyle, I will see. I would still also with my brother. He's like to film stuff. They went to US trying
Mm-hmm.
to a bit more influencer, and I think it's a good way. I always also want to be. It was our dreams when we were young, like because we're watching the snowboarders and skateboarders and mountain bikers, so they winning the competitions, and when they were a bit older and have some more money, they could do free riding and get paid for it. So I still would like to show what everything is possible on motorcycle for regular people and make some good content out of it. But truly, I'm I don't know, man. I'm 40, man, now. In the freestyle sport, I have all the medals what I possibly could get, and I'm not sure if I can get any. I don't think I'm enough motivated to go and learn some like super hard best trick, especially if I know the rewards are now not as good as they used to be back in the days, and it's a lot of risk. But I would still like to do some like special stunts, like Meadow did,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm always like I done interviews 15 years ago that I have like two big buildings in Prague. I want to jump from one to another, or also a couple of years ago I was thinking about to jump over the Prague River, Vltava. So
Mm-hmm.
like kind of these projects it's interesting for me, and I would like to put my name a bit more into the history of motorsport for sure.
I want to say that, Libor. I want to say that, Libor. Well, Libor, was a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks a lot to your time. Was great to catch up with you. I hope to talk to you again very soon. And next time, face to face, maybe in Prague. I need to go back there, man.
Yeah, you would be very welcome. I think the Gladiators games are coming back again, and oh, whenever, man. I'd like to buy you beer when you're here.